Now, what if you have two people here? That is the John and Mercy. Each of them, they have 500,000. Now, who will earn more? Say, if John invests in a money market fund, that 500,000 in a money market fund, without topping up, both of them, nobody will top up for the next 10 years. At the end of the 10 years, who will actually earn more money? That is exactly what I'm going to talk about. Say John gets into the money market fund, okay, gets into the money market fund, let's say with an average interest rate of 12%. That is after when you've deduct all the expenses, the management fee, blah, 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 taxes and what have you. Let's say he remains with that 12%. And here we have Mercy, invest on bonds, all right? And I'm going to use the premium bond. That is the IFB. That is the IFB, which we know, like the last one we had was around 17.9%. All right. Are we together? 17.9%. Of course, that one is bigger than this one. And of course, both of them are going for 10 years. And this one is going for 10 years. Now, the question is, who will earn more at the end of the period of 10 years? I'm telling you, this is going to be the most interesting video. By the way, even if you have a problem watching longer videos, this one I'm going to make it as short as possible, 15 minutes or there-ish, and I'm going to share with you so that when you're investing, you know what you're going to do. And by the way, don't forget this: no top up, no top up, no top up, no top up. Meaning nobody will actually add that 500. Nobody will add more. Assuming you take that 100, you throw it there and forget about it. You're going to check there after 10 years. That is exactly what you're going to talk about. This is good, Joseph. In case you're watching me for the first time, I talk about investments, I talk about money and such kind of things. All right. Don't forget, I upload a video each and every day. So if you don't want to miss any of my videos, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button and leave a comment on the comment section. Tell me where you're watching from. And by the way, was this video of importance to you? Tell me on the comment section. Now, let's get practical. Now, here we are. Let's start with John. Okay, let's start with John. Oh, no, let's start with Mercy. Okay, let's start with Mercy. Now, here is Mercy. Mercy decides, I'm going to invest my money. Mercy, how are you doing when you write the word Mercy? Okay, let me just do like that so you won't know what I've written. So that's Mercy. Now Mercy goes to the bonds, and for this matter is an IFB, just like we've agreed there, and she's getting 17.9% at the end of the year. Now, she invests her 500K, 500K, all right? Now, the question is, at the end of the year, how much Mercy will get? What is 17.9% of 500K? First of all, you are supposed to know one thing. The IFB do not charge any taxes. It is tax-free. Well, as far as the Kenyan government is concerned, it is tax-free. So Mercy throws her 500K into a bond and she gets 17.9%. So what is, simple mathematics, by the way, I have my calculator here, so get yours. What is 17.9% of 500K? For those who do mathematics very fast, I'm going to do it manually here because numbers don't rush things. It is step by step. Now, that will be 0.79 multiplied by 500,000. That is 89,500. That is 89,500. And by the way, that is what you get each and every year. That is yearly income. If you want to know monthly, of course, divide that number by 12 so that you understand how much you get. But don't forget this. Infrastructure bond or bonds, they usually pay after every what? They usually pay after every 6 months. After 6 months, for instance, this 89,500, you divide it by 2. You get like 49-ish thousand there. All right. Is it 49 or 50? 40, whatever the number it is. Okay. Just divide that number by 2. Divide that by 2. 44,750 is what you get. Are we together? Is what you get the first 6 months, and then the other phase you get the other one. But anyway, the point is we are looking for the period of 10 years. Okay, 10 years. Now, this is what you get each and every year because you're investing 500,000. Remember one thing, and I want you to hold your ear. This is what we used to be told by our teacher. Hold your ear like this. Bonds, they offer what we call simple interest. Are we together? They don't offer compound interest. Simple interest means for the next 10 years, this is the amount of money you're going to be getting each and every year. Are we together? It won't change. Won't go up, won't go down. This is what you get. So to simply know how much you will end with at the end of the 10th year, it is simply 89,500 multiplied by 10. How much is that? Simple. How much is that? multiplied by 10, you're going to end up with 895,000. 895,000. Are we together? That is what you're going to end up with at the end of the 10th year. So simply, your money has actually doubled and has actually gone above that particular 2x. Are we together? So that is what Mercy gonna end up with. You invest the 500,000. This is what you're gonna get as the interest. Remember, this is not the total amount of money that you will get. No, this is the interest only. So the amount of money you're gonna end up with is 895,000 plus the principal money that you invested, which is 500,000. So how much is that? So simply 855 plus 500,000. So she gonna end up with 1.1 million. Gonna 1,395,000. 305 for that. Yeah, correct. That's what you're gonna end up. 1,305,000. So 895,000 is purely interest, no taxes, no nothing, and that is exactly what you're gonna end up with in that particular period of time. Are we together up to that particular point, my wonderful viewers? If you've gotten something so far, make sure that you hit that like button. By the way, you're probably watching this video and you have not liked the video. Come on, like the video. It does not cost you anything. Thank you. Now, that is it. Keep that number in your head. 1.395 million shillings. That's what you're going to end up with in a period of 10 years. Are we together? Let's now get to see what John, are we together? What John will end up with. Now, here is John. Okay, John says, nah, I'm not going to go the bonds way. Let me go the money market fund way. And I'm getting an interest of 12%. And the period is 10 years. And don't forget this, money market fund offer what we call the compound interest. Now, let me tell you one thing. If you hated mathematics, calculating compound interest is the most boring and complicated mathematics you can ever have. For instance, if John invests the 500K into an MMF with 12%, so it will be 12% of 500K. What is it? What is 12% of 500K? I said get yourself a calculator. Here we are. No, so you say it is 0.12 multiplied by 500. Are we together? That is 60,000. That is 60,000. Now, that 60,000, don't forget one thing. I said it's clean. The 12,000 has already been deducted. Other, I don't know, management fee, whatever, all those deductions are there. So 60,000, that is the clean cash you get at the end of the year. Remember, Mercy was getting 89,000. Was it 89,000? 89,500 thereabout. But now this dude is getting 60,000 at the end of that particular year. Both of them have invested in a money market fund. Now, the game starts to change here. The moment now you get this money, assuming you don't withdraw it. And again, remember one thing, for the cases of IFB, once that interest accumulates in that period of 6 months, they send it to you. You don't have an option of, let it stay there so that it earns more. No, they automatically send it to you. Are we together? So this one, they don't send it to you. You can withdraw it if you want, but it is there. If you just let it be, you plow it back. Remember, nobody is eating anything and nobody is topping up anything. So what happens with this guy, it is that at the end of the year, the guy obviously will end up with 60,000 plus the principal amount, which is 500,000. So the money that will be in that particular account would be 500,000 plus 60,000. That means this guy will be having 560,000. Are we together? Now, this money, by the way, this money, first of all, I'm about to compound this annually or after every year. But money market fund do not compound yearly. They compound monthly. So if you were to take this figure of 60,000, divide it by 12 to see how much you're earning per month, that number that you get plus the 500 that you have, then subject that total income to, but that only complicate things. Let's just calculate it yearly because they don't, they don't have that a big variance, yeah? So 560,000 is what you have at the end of the year one. Now, this money is again subjected to 12%. Now, what is 12% of 560,000? Because now the 60,000 is functioning as a principal. It's like giving birth to kids who will give birth. So even this 60,000 will give you interest. So what is 12,000 of 560,000? Now we are in year 2. Are we together? And I hope I'm not leaving you on the way. So plus 500 thousand. So that is 560,000. Multiply that number by 0.12. That will be 67,000. The year 2, second year, will be 67,200 plus how much? Not 500,000, plus 560,000 plus 560,000. Are we together? How much will that be? Anyway, I'm not going to do this up to the 10th year. There is a formula that I'm going to show you how we use it, okay? Plus 560,000, that will be 627,000. Are we together? 627,000. Now this amount of money subjected to 12% off. That is, we are now on the third year. What have you realized? This 60,000 is key. For example, if you calculate this one, we can even do it, okay? Multiplied by 0.12. I'm already at 75,000. On the third year, I'm already at 75,000. Remember, Mercy was at around 89,000. What have you seen? The number is increasing crazily. You can imagine if I calculate the 4th year, the 6th year, the 5th year. So in simple, instead of doing all those calculations, there is a very simple formula that I usually use, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do exactly here. Of course, I cannot tell you. This one is my secret. You know, if you want to get this premium service, get that number of mine from the description there and contact me. Then I'll be able to guide you step by step on what is the secret compound, how I usually calculate it, and you can calculate it at your own comfort. Then I'm starting with 500,000 because that's what we have. The monthly contribution, it is 0. We are not adding anything. And then the length of period of years, it is 10 years. We agreed on that. Estimated interest is 12%. That is it, 12%. Then it is compounding monthly. And then boom, let's calculate. Let's see the number that you get out there. Mercy will end up with one. Let me show you. Mercy will end up with, by the way, this number, I don't know whether you can even see it. It's around there. Mercy will end up with 1.65018,193.45. That is the number. That is the figure that you're going to end up with. So what exactly does it tell you? Mercy is ending up with more money than what the no. John will end up, not Mercy, by the way. I'm confusing these names. John, we are on John, okay? John will end up with 1.65 million compared to what Mercy will end up with 1.3. Was it around 1.3? Yeah, I told you to keep that figure in your head. Now, the point is this. At the beginning, what have you seen? Mercy is earning more. But as the time goes by, and remember one thing, please. Don't forget this, my friend. Don't forget this. Nobody has added anything. This 1.6, do you know what? If you 1.6, let me see how much. Remember one thing, me and you, we know. Mercy ended up with, let me just grab this particular board so that I now have the actual figures to deal with here, okay? Remember, the interest of Mercy, Mercy's interest was around 895,000. Remember that? Now, if you want to know how much it's the interest of John at the end of this particular period of time, minus 500K, because this is total everything. So this figure, which is 1,650,193, subtract 500,000, so that you know how much is ending with. John is ending with an interest on, of not all, 1,150,193. This is way bigger than this. This is close to 400,000 on top of that. Now, this is where we talk about, my friend, do you know how much money will be if we only go to the 11th year? Let me just do that. If we dare go for the 11th year, this is what will happen. Instead of now the 10th year, we go the 11th year and see how much this person will end up with. Okay? Will be 1.8 million. Do you see now? There is something I want to teach you guys. There is something called compound interest. It's very interesting. Now, what am I spotting short? What message am I trying to push to you guys so that you get it out of this video? It is that when you're going to invest for a short period of time, obviously look for that what is giving you bigger interest. But when you're going for a longer period of time, consider that what is giving you the compound interest. And this is the amount of money you end up with in this particular period of time. If you ask me, let's say, for example, right now, maybe let's say you just got married, you have that 500,000, and then you know very well in a period of 10 years time, you'll be actually paying school fees actively. You know, people be like, oh, 10 years is a long period of, it is not. Let's do a simple calculation of somebody who marries today, immediately after this video, 10 years. They take 1 year enjoyment, another year, now they get the child after the second year. So by the time period of 10 years is ending, the kid is 8 years. In Kenya, where is the kid of 8 years? They barely joined the kindergarten at the 4th year. They went there for 3 years. At the 7th year, they're in grade 1 or maybe grade 2 at most. They're in grade 2. Grade 2, you're actively paying school fees. If you had your 500,000, you throw it there. In that period of time, you have yourself 1.6 million. If you have 1.6 million, this is over 16, this is close to 17,000 or 18,000 a month. 18,000 a month, surely, how much will even you be paying your kid? Do you know you can even decide to take that 500,000 if you have it, throw it there, and forget about ever thinking about the kid's school fees. Because if the first month you're getting 17,000 or 18,000, the second month 18,000, the other month we are talking about 54,000 or something. Surely, which can, in this country that you are living in, paying a school fees of 54,000 per term, that is a very big school. It's a very nice school, a private school, a very nice school. And you know what? And you forget forever thinking about that school. You know, it's all about taking that decision. It's all about knowing what you want at what particular period of time. And you go ahead. And again, maybe perhaps you don't have the 500,000 with you. So how about you start with that, what you have. By the period of 10 years ends, you have yourself. You get what I'm saying? It's all about dedication. It's all about commitment. It's all about consistency. And that is exactly how you win. By the way, nowadays I said I'm going to try the best I can to make sure that I calculate this mathematics in actual formality so that you understand what I always talk about here. So that you don't say we are talking stories ajaba. I mean, that's a colloquial language here in Kenya. They say stories ajaba. Anyway, it is what it is, guys. I hope you got something out of this video. And I'm going to be, having what we call comparison of different investments and what you stand to get, so that at least you know what you stand to get when you get yourself into these investments. How to get into this? Always contact me. My number is always on the description of this specific video. If you want me to take you like a 2-year-old kid, I take you step by step. That is after listening to you, knowing where you are heading, what do you want and by when, and then there we can have a proposal of what exactly befits you. And that is what we do. For now, it's a goodbye. And by the way, don't forget, you can contact me. My number is always on the description of this specific video. By the way, let me just put it here. Some of you guys always ask me where is my number. Let me just put it here. It's 01144561887. That's the number. Or if maybe you are outside the country, you can just add +254. Instead of this 0, replace it with +254. Are we together? If you're in Kenya, you can include the 0. If you're outside, you can just say +254. Because some of you are saving this number this way and then you say it's not in on the WhatsApp. Just put the +254. The 0 is equivalent to +254. I don't know which mathematics is that, but it is what it is. Anyway, for now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next time.